Hey, I didn't know if I turned my mic on. I don't think I did.
You have not yet.
Okay, it's on now. Hey y'all. Give us 1 second. We gotta get ourselves together tonight. Somebody was early on YouTube. Let's see. Let me go to the TikToks. Live. Hey you guys, what's happening? I meant to post a video on TikTok right before we went live. I say that every week and I always forget. But it looks like my sound is okay. Hey y'all, hey. I don't see comments yet. Oh, the Angie Champagne. Hey girl. I feel like I've been scrambling. I've been scrambling today, y'all. I'm gonna tell you guys a story. I'm gonna wait a few minutes and wait till us to get started so I can tell you guys about today's Carfunkel. Is that a word? Carfunkel?
Garfunkel? That's a singer. Art Garfunkel.
No, like when you make a mistake or something happens.
I've never heard that. A carbuncle?
No.
But isn't that a skin tag? Is a carbuncle?
Thank you. Oh, no. I think I'm saying it wrong. But y'all know what I'm trying to say.
Kerfuffle?
Kerfuffle? Oh, that's even better. That sounds like a fluff, though. Hey, Jenny. My glasses are just... How do our glasses get so dirty, you guys? How does that even happen? We're going to be making some stuff from my scrapwood pile. I hope you guys will hang out with us. And if you'd rather watch on YouTube or Facebook, we're there too. Just saying. We usually watch YouTube on our TV. Carfunkel. See, Angie knows.
A what?
A Carfunkel.
Never heard that. Never heard that.
Hey, Nancy. I'm not going to say hi to too many of y'all because y'all know my husband. That's his job. He likes it. The last time I said hey to everybody. Of course, you were taking, what were you taking, babe? The medication that you were taking?
Oh, yeah, it was on prednisone.
You got a little feisty about it that night. I remember. So we'll let you say hi to everybody, babe. Did I remember to wash brushes? I did. I should make a list. I'm going to make me a list, a live list. Look, this sounds like a really good idea, y'all. Let's see if I actually do it. And I'm going to laminate it and put check boxes on there. So I can check it, and then make sure everything is done every week.
All right.
I know. Are you going to say hi to everybody?
Sure, if you want.
I want, please.
I'm waiting to hear me, but you've been talking, so.
Oh, okay.
I just want to know if I can be heard or not.
I hear you.
So, over on Facebook, Rita Burnett Laws, Wendy Kramer from Wisconsin, Angie Champagne, Denise Koviak Leonard, Redeemed in Manistee checking in, but she doesn't know how long she will last. Peggy Terrell, Carmen Daumer, 2 peas, 1 pod. A kerfuffle is a kind of commotion, controversy, or fuss. If you read about a scandal in a newspaper, it could be described as a kerfuffle.
Oh.
Brenda Mazuka from Colorado, Dorothy Lage, Kathleen O'Brien Hoovis, and Chris Schmidt were early on Facebook. Let's see, over on YouTube, we have Paige Nicole Komar, a little early, be back closer to 7. You're on time.
Well, it was there when I logged on.
I think she's in Texas, right?
Yeah.
So I think she's out.
Because on YouTube, it has it there like a premiere, I think, because I put it on early.
Yeah.
And so I think she left a comment before we actually got started.
Gotcha. Kathleen Hoovis says hello from freezing Illinois, Dreaming Cat Studio. Susie Chilberg. POTUS is on, so when he gets back, I'll go watch him. Okay. I didn't know the president was speaking tonight.
Me either.
Huh. Nancy Griffin says thought she would try YouTube this time. Susie Chilberg says Kerfunkel. I've never heard that term. Let's see. Susan Glazer? Glasser? No, it can't be Glasser because there's only one S. So Glazer, how cold is it where you are? Currently 37 degrees. Feels like 28 in New Braunfels, Texas. Susie Chilberg, prednisone works. It really, really does. It heals everything.
But it
also
makes David grumpy.
Yeah, well, that's a side effect. But it also, like, destroys your organs.
Yeah.
If you take it for too long.
Yeah.
It's the miracle drug that will kill you.
Yeah.
So,
well, if you take it too long.
If you take it too long. Melissa Gomez, Handy and Honey. Olga Zork from freezing Chicago got her Sherpa blanket and Lou's pizza to keep me warm. You're a Malnati's guy? Okay. Let's see. Susie Chilberg says Indiana started at 0, but it did get up to 15.
Oh my gosh, you guys. I cannot even imagine living in that kind of weather.
Yeah, Paige is north of Houston, so that's Central Time Zone. Okay. And Clever Cook Store is in northern Michigan.
Well, good evening, you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. I wasn't sure how many people we'd have because of the game tonight.
Yeah, the whole weekend it's football weekend.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So
It'll be
I
the same
appreciate
next
you guys.
week. There'll be 2 games on Sunday, and one of them will conflict with this.
My husband told me that if the Packers would have won last night, that he would not be here with me next Sunday.
That's true, because that game, so it'll be San Francisco against, I don't know who won today. Did Detroit win?
I don't know.
I didn't watch because football season's over.
The Packers are out. Football season's over.
Football season's done. Now it's
I'm cheering
season.
for the Packers for a different reason, or I was cheering. Because you know I like to cheer for the underdog. They're the youngest team in the league. They have the youngest coaches. I wanted them to
They came close.
They did. Game. They did good.
Yeah.
Major upset. They almost had another upset yesterday. They were close.
Yep.
Welcome you guys to tonight. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit off. I'm drinking coffee tonight too, you guys, so I might be wired for sound by the end of the live. But if you are new here, we are here every Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where we craft and we chat about Lord knows what, because my husband doesn't behave. And we just have all kinds of conversations. And we make stuff really cool, which I have a story about tonight. So my name is Royce Hunt Bell. I'm the owner of Roycycled Treasure. And the voice that you guys hear behind the camera is my lovely husband, David Bell. And tonight we were supposed to be doing a reverse decoupage on the window. But what had happened was I have a whole stack of windows and I can see them from the side because they're like stacked together. And I went to go pull them out and I forgot we took the glass out of all those windows and we put plywood. I was so distraught this afternoon. I think that was most of my afternoon was just figuring out how I was going to shift that project. And I couldn't reframe my mind around what I was going to do. And so I'm doing something completely different. So tonight, you guys, is going to be all about industrial. Since I spent most of my day stressed out because I couldn't do what I wanted to do, I figured I would do something just for me. But hopefully you guys will enjoy it too. So
before we go any further, may I ask that if you are on YouTube, please comment. Commenting really helps.
Yes.
As I was watching something right before we came on.
The Chiefs are behind 13-17.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. I was watching a thing on movies. Patrick H. Willems, which I like his analysis, and he made the comment that these are my opinions. You could disagree. In fact, please do, because it helps the algorithm.
Right? If you want to disagree, disagree.
Yeah.
Do it loudly in the comments.
Yeah, so we'd love it if you comment, but subscribe is the big thing. Subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. That way you don't miss. It did come up on mine, which helps.
Yeah.
Sometimes even I struggle finding it, which is weird.
And if you guys want to make sure that you get alerts, you guys can sign up for the texting app. Babe, can you give them the number over there?
Sure. And then on Facebook, please share it, comment, hit an emoji. We always say you could hit.
You can even do the angry emoji if you want.
Whatever emoji you want is A-OK by us.
I'm sorry, you guys. I'm trying to fix my other camera so that I can make sure and make reels out of whatever we do tonight, and so that my folks on TikTok can see what I'm doing. So I am using all scrap wood projects. You guys, these are actually the tops off of some old fence boards. So I thought they looked like tags, and so I had George just cut them to size, and so we're gonna make some wood tags with these. And I drilled my holes. I did not measure, but it's okay. It's gonna be okay. So we have these we're gonna do tonight. This is, I had an idea. Oh man, did I bring my stencil out? Oh, I did, okay. I love the old antique signs from like the 1800s. You know, when you go to like a shoe shop and there would be a boot, or if you went to the barber shop, you know, there would be like the barber pole. And so this is a sign that I've seen over and over again. It's a hand, and it usually advertises different things that are available at a shop. So we just cut this out of a piece of Luan that was left over from a project. And then this is a piece probably from the side of a bed frame that was probably, we weren't able to save, or we ended up using it for something else. And so this hand will fit right into this slot, and it'll just be held up like that. And this is actually going to go in my living room. And I have a box that we just made out of just random pieces of wood from the wood pile. And so we're going to repurpose this. And look, you can even tell this is a piece of tongue and groove. You can see the tongue right there on that. And so I'm going to paint and decoupage this one. Oh man, that's a nice piece of hardwood. I thought I picked one. Some of the boxes were made with just like plain, you know, the wood isn't like nice or anything. Some of them are made with nicer pieces. Like this is probably maybe a walnut. Oh man, I might not cover this. I might rethink exactly what I'm going to do. So usually if it's a nicer wood like this, I might add a transfer or a stencil, but I wouldn't necessarily cover it. So I may rethink my plans for this box, but we'll cover all the wood that's not, you know, that's not nicer wood. And it is going to be an industrial evening. I have the Roycycled register decoupage paper here. And if you guys are new, Roycycled decoupage papers are roughly 20 by 30. So they're a good size. I love all the rusty goodness on this one. And I'm going to use this portion down here for the tags. And I haven't decided. You guys can help me decide whether I'm going to use this top part from my hand, or if I want to use the gears on my hand. I haven't decided, the rusty gears from this one. And this one is called, I forgot, let me look. Oh, this is the oh Lord, somebody help me. Look, I don't even know the name of my own papers, baby. Industrial Exhibition, I believe, is the name of this one. And it's just super grungy gears on that one. And I know for my grungy folks, I haven't made anything for a while. I'm gonna have something for you guys, not on the April launch, but on the one after that one, I promise. And then we have the hardware decoupage paper that I wanna use on the box. So that's the plan for tonight. We're gonna do some decoupaging, and I brought my dark wax out that I finally found. I don't know. And you guys can help me make some decisions about certain things. And last week, Dorothy you asked me about the list of designs that have been retired. And so I did bring that list, so we can go over that tonight. Should we go over it now, or do you guys want to get started and we'll go back to this? Let's do some fun stuff and come back.
All right. Lee Brown also asked, if you have time tonight, would you explain again the process for painting the back of your decoupage paper to put it on a dark background? Do you apply the paper after the paint is dry or while still wet?
So both are an option, Flea. The easiest, honestly, is just to paint the back, let it dry, and then decoupage it on there the same as you always would. When you guys see me using half and half of paint and clear coat and then applying it to the plastic, that's another way to do it. So it's two different ways. But probably the easiest, honestly, is to paint the back, let it dry, and then decoupage on there. And if you paint it before you even like fussy cut it out, it'll even be easier. And so you guys, a lot of times I am guilty of repurposing content, because I posted a video today of me this week of me decoupaging a window, and somebody asked me why I didn't mist the paper first. And the answer is, I did that video probably When did we do the porch, baby? About a year and a half ago?
Maybe a year.
Has it only been a year?
Was it less? Yeah.
Because I did it before my retreat, and my retreat was a year ago in August.
No, your retreat's longer than that. 'Cause
No.
you didn't have one last year.
I know. That's what I'm saying. A year ago, August. So it was a year from last August that we had the retreat, and I did the porch before that.
Okay.
So anyways, it's been a while. It's been over a year. And so that's why if you guys look at my videos, depending on when I did them, you'll see that sometimes my processes change. I am always looking for a better way, and my processes and the things that I do evolve all the time. And so it just depends on what I'm doing, which way I choose. And you may catch a video that's older, because making the volume of content that I make for the Roycycled brand is a lot. It's a lot. And so I cheat and repurpose old content sometimes. And if it's a good project, it's a good project. Like the decoupage window sill is still one of my favorite projects, even though I did it a year and a half ago.
Speaking of that, Liz Carden says, I was looking forward to you showing
I
the
know.
reversed window. I have a window.
Oh, that was the other QR code I was going to make.
Yep, and have the octopus paper, want to make it for my bathroom, but just couldn't find a window.
So I
Do you have
know
any in storage?
I probably have some in storage, but they weren't anywhere. So my assistant, it's Sunday. I try not to bug George on Sundays because he works really hard all week. Because he doesn't just work for me, right? He does all kinds of other stuff. But I was going to do a QR code. I do have 2 videos on my YouTube channel for reverse decoupage on glass. One, I did a I believe when I did that project, it was actually a full-on video. It wasn't, I mean, I took a long video and made it that real. So I believe that's on my channel. And there's another one where I used some glass frames from the Dollar Tree. And I want to say there's a third one. So there should be several videos on my YouTube channel that are like full tutorial videos about reverse decoupage on glass. So I will try to remember to post that link for you guys so you guys can find it easily. But if you search Roycycled reverse decoupage, it should come up.
Brianna DeRusha Morris is watching. So
Hey, Brianna.
let me put in a plug. If you guys are looking for a cool event, especially if you have an RV and you're retired,
Oh, yeah.
I really recommend it then. In Safford, Arizona, right around Valentine's Day, is the Gila Valley Fiddle Festival, which is bluegrass. If you love bluegrass music, this is the place to go. And what's really cool is because Brianna's one of the organizers on it, because her dad is so involved in that world, literally some of the best bluegrass players in the world come here.
Yes, because of relationship.
All because of relationships. And her dad, Kevin, can get literally the best players. So if you like that stuff, this is a great place to come. There's camping right by the event. So you can bring your RV. Boom,
Oh,
you're
yeah,
right
because
there.
it's going to be at the fairgrounds, huh?
Yep. So I really recommend it. It's a great event.
Now, it's dry camping. I think it's important to
It is dry
stress that.
camping, yes. But really cool event. It's Valentine's weekend.
One of these days, baby, they're going to do your event that you have in your dreams.
Oh, we've talked about it, and Kevin's agreeable.
Yeah, you just have
Kevin
to make
and
it
Brianna
happen.
would love that idea. It's just a matter of bringing all the people together.
Yeah.
And blowing it out even bigger, because there's an opportunity.
There is. 'Cause
We've discussed it, and there is nobody saying no.
it's just a matter of who's going to be the one who organizes
Exactly.
it.
It's just you getting everybody together in the same room and getting commitments and stuff like that. But yeah, it really is cool. I really, truly recommend, if you can, get here.
Ouch.
And it makes for a perfect weekend, too. And there's stuff happening all the time. They're even when they're performing, you go around back and they're just kind of jamming together.
Oh, do
And
they
they-
have
they-
like horseshoe tournaments and stuff or no?
No.
Oh.
And they do competitions where they mix up the players. Like you may draw.
Oh, like from different bands?
Yeah, you might draw a different guitarist or a different stand-up bassist, and then you got to kind of work out something real quick.
Oh, that would be fun.
Oh, it's neat. It's a really, really neat event. So Sandy DeJarnay saw Tony Rice at a bluegrass festival, loved it. Yeah, it is really, really cool. You got to, the guys that come legitimately are among the best.
Yeah.
And somebody's coming. They told me, I got to be honest, I don't know the bluegrass
Well,
world.
Brianna's on. Ask her if she's still watching. Maybe she can tell
Yeah,
you.
comment, please. Brianna, fill everybody in if you're still on. Because there's a young lady who's going to headline it. Her husband's not coming with because he's on tour.
Oh, wow.
And they are like amongst the top 5 in bluegrass.
Oh.
So
Now I want to know who it is.
yeah, I wish I could remember the name. You could look it up on Facebook. Yeah.
So I'm just painting this white. You guys know the drill. So that even though, there are different,
Everybody likes the blue on gears.
oh, okay. For the hand.
Yes.
What was I going to say?
Yes, for the hands. That's what they really like.
I'm painting for anybody we have new, because we had a lot of new people kind of come into our like ecosystem this last week. And so if you're new and you see me painting white, I generally paint white under my decoupage. This is like the general rule, right? So that whatever image is on my paper will like be the show. There are times when you may not want to paint white, like maybe you want your image to be more laid back or subdued. Or if you have like a light colored paper, like the winter design that everybody loves, including me. This one is like really, really light. And because it's tissue paper, it gets pretty transparent. So you could use color underneath and it would show through your paper. But as a general rule, I always paint white. So I'm going to go through and just kind of paint everything and then we'll decoupage everything. I don't want to paint this. I keep going back and forth on whether or not I want to paint this black. I might do like a black wash, or if I just want to go in with some dark wax. So, but I think this needs to be finished first so we can see them together to make a final decision, because that'll be the stand that'll hold my hand. I want to hold your hand. And then like, I don't even know if I want to paint these. I'm so indecisive because I had to make decisions at the last minute. And I think I'm only going to decoupage like one side of these. I'm going to decoupage the least interesting. I mean, you know what I'm trying to say. The least interesting side of them. But I think I'm going to do like a rough decoupage. I mean, a rough paint on these and not make it completely perfect so that I have some kind of variance. Just because the paper that I'm going to use on this is like rustic. And it's not perfect. So I think I'm going to do this so I have different tones underneath my paper. And it'll dry like really fast this way too. But I'm actually excited about these tags. And after I get them decoupaged, I couldn't find my washers. I have a container of rusty washers. Doesn't everybody have a container of rusty washers? So after I get it decoupaged, I want to glue a washer over this hole to finish this off. And then of course we're going to put some jute string through the top. And I don't think these are going to be really cool. And somebody's going to ask me what I'm going to do with these. I don't know yet. We'll see. They're going to go somewhere in my living room, though. I just don't know where. I think I'm going to end up keeping all these projects for myself, you guys.
Kelly Morgan says, I think Safford is where I went to a big baseball tournament, which at the time was a big annual event for them many, many moons ago.
Probably.
With my first roommate at 19 years old. She grew up in Oracle. And I had just moved from New York, which could have been a sitcom.
I can imagine.
I don't know. We haven't hosted a baseball tournament for a while. It's something I would love to see us do.
But back in the day, babe, the fairgrounds would be all the time.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We just haven't for a while. And I love that tourism. So I am all for it.
I know. We even have lights out there now so they can play after dark.
Yeah. Marty Hardy says, did you use your new saw to cut your tags?
I didn't. George cut these for me. My new saw is really small. It's more for like dowels or like really smaller projects. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't have a ton of time anymore to really like be in the thick of things, but I still get the joy of creating by handing my ideas off to George. Poor George. No, he likes it. When he first started working for me, he thought I was crazy. And he might still think I'm a little crazy, but now he gets it. And actually, he was sending me messages on Pinterest today, which I thought was funny.
Hetty Girding says, when is your new group starting?
The group starts on February 1st, you guys. We're going to have like a mixer or a happy hour via Zoom on February 1st. So everyone can kind of come together. It's going to be in the evening. Hop on a Zoom call. It'll probably only be about an hour. We'll see, depending on how many people show up. We have a good sized group inside the membership already. Just so we can introduce ourselves. We can go over all the things that you guys can expect. I don't know. I just want to just say hey and start getting to know everybody. So February 1st will be our happy hour call. And then we'll drop the first video that first week. We'll drop the second lesson the second week. The third week, we'll have our first Zoom call. The fourth week, we'll have our second Zoom call. And that's kind of how it's scheduled. And then we actually have 3 videos. So I'll probably drop 2 videos in the first week because I have an extra video this month. And then, of course, I'm going to drop 2 different, you guys, we talked about like the curated videos where I'm like finding like really cool techniques. So one video is going to help to support or reiterate what I'm teaching in the month of February. And one video is just a really cool technique that I think is super fun. And I'm hoping we can find a way to integrate into our practice.
Just an FYI, you know, you got 5 weeks this February, just because of the way it falls in it being a leap year.
Oh.
So the 1st is a Thursday, and you go to the 29th, which is a Thursday as well.
I think everything is on Thursdays. So we have
we have 5 Thursdays.
Thursdays
because that's when Gila Idol is taking place. So we have 5 in February.
Oh, and one of our calls is going to be on a Tuesday. We're going to do a Thursday evening and a Tuesday morning, like for the Zoom calls, so that we can make sure that everyone can be present live or has the opportunity. But the one of the videos is because in order for us to do our project, so we're going to have like exercises within the lessons, and then we're going to have an activity that we're going to do every month so that you guys can monitor your progress from month to month to month. And then we're going to have like a project, and that's what we're going to do together. I'm calling it a lab. We're going to be in a lab together working on our project. And so in order for you to do your project, I need you guys to make sure that you guys have a specific skill. So I'm going to be making another video to make sure that you guys know how to do that so that we can do our project. And then I'll also be giving you guys like the supply list. And I'm trying to make the supply list like stuff that's easily accessible and that's not expensive. They're just tools that you guys will have that, quite frankly, you'll use over and over and over again, but they'll really, really help you with what we'll be teaching over the course of the year.
Let's see. Handy and Honey says, does not have a jar full of washers, but does have nails, all kind of rusty nails.
All kind of rusty nails. And I did make, if you're interested in finding out more information about the Roycycled membership, I do have the QR code up for those of you who are on YouTube. And then if you're on Facebook, we'll be posting stuff this week. I really wanted to make sure, because we do have a limited number of seats, so we really wanted to make sure that the people who are already engaged with Roycycled, who've already been engaged, had an opportunity to sign up first. And so we sent information out to people who've taken courses before. Then we sent out to Roycycled insiders. And so next week, we'll be sending out information for anybody else who may want to sign up for the membership. So you guys will see that. It'll be posted next week on Facebook.
But if you're here, you're engaged, and you can...
Well, yeah, that's why I went ahead and made the link for the QR code tonight.
I just don't want them to think that they're not engaged. You know,
oh, no. Yeah, you're here.
You're here.
You're here.
Sparks of Joy wants to know what time. Do you know what time the evening of February 1st?
I think we have it scheduled for 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I believe. And none of these times are set in stone. One of the benefits of being a founding member is that you guys are going to help us to develop exactly what the membership is going to be. So I've created like this framework for how the membership is going to work, but nothing is set in stone, because I've created what I think you guys will like, but we won't know until we get you guys in the group, and then you guys can tell us, you know, what what works and what doesn't work. You know, is it too much content? Is it not enough content? I don't want to have like a fire hose of information and you feel like you're always behind because you don't have time to do all the things. But I do want to make sure that we have activities and exercises so that you can implement what I teach right away. Because my goal is that if I teach something at first, it's going to be something that you have to think about, right? And we have tools for you to be able to exercise the different things when you're working. But eventually, I want you to get to a place where it just becomes part of your practice and you don't even think about it anymore. And so I do feel like in order for you to have that transformation, you really do want to participate. And so I'm trying to do this balance of having enough for you to be able to implement right away so that you can internalize the information and it can become part of your practice, but not have it be so much that it's overwhelming. So
Lindsay Shumway says, does watching right now count as seeing you 3 times this week? We just saw Lindsay and the youngest at Walmart yesterday.
Oh, I know, huh?
I wish I could remember his name. Declan's their oldest. I can't remember the youngest name. Is it like Wings Hauser Shumway or something? I forget. Sorry, Lindsay. I'm sorry. I forget.
Did you leave the non-perishables in the car, Lindsay, like I suggested? I thought it was a very good idea.
2 Peas, 1 Pot says, I want to see the new saw.
Oh, you guys know what? I should find a reason to use it this week so I can show you guys. My husband bought me tools. He bought me some stuff to cut through foam too. They're like hot tools. So you guys know how you see people build stuff out of foam board, which we've done before. They're like things so I can cut through that foam board really easy. So anyways.
Peggy Terrell says, could you give the supply list before February 1st? I'll be traveling for the month and would pack up what I need to participate while on the road.
Oh, I'll hook up with you, Peggy. Did you sign up for the membership, Miss Peggy? Oh my gosh. I have to tell you guys, like, it's so funny to me because I have people that I admire in our niche or in our world. And the fact that some of you have signed up for my membership is just, I don't know.
Olga Zork says it's 6 p.m. Pacific time on the email.
Okay, thank you, Olga. I am the worst with time. And you guys know why? Because Arizona doesn't participate in the daylight savings. And so I am often confused. But for those of you who've taken courses with me before, I do want to tell you that I have hired somebody to take care of all that mess on the back end. So I will not have to do it. So I know last year for the stencil lab, we had a lot of kerfunkles. And that's because I was trying to do everything. But I smartened up and I have my online business manager and Brenda takes care of all that stuff for me now. So we'll be good to go.
Marty Hardy wants to see the saw as well and those hot things cut like butter.
I know, I'm going to have to find a reason to use them, you guys. We used them when we went to Pinner's conference. I wanted to build a background that looks a lot like this one, you know, with the fireplace. And so we replicated these boards using pieces of insulation. That was really fun. And then I ended up decoupaging it with the Roycycled wood crate decoupage paper. And I think inside of I made it look a lot like this fireplace. It was super fun. You guys, I'm feeling kind of weird about covering this really good wood, but it's going to be weird to leave it at the same time.
Vicky Moore says, hope she made it through. If she got the email, she's in good shape.
Yeah, if you got the email. And you guys know what? I know you guys are probably still getting emails inviting you to participate. And that's just because we have emails scheduled to go out. Because not everybody opens their emails right away. Or maybe they opened their email and they meant to sign up, but they didn't. So we have emails scheduled to go out. So if you continue receiving them after you've signed out, don't worry. It's because you're an insider. And so you're still getting the emails.
Wendy Reese Purdy said, tried to sign up for the membership and it said wait list. But isn't that what everybody is right now?
No, the wait list was earlier. Message me. Oh, actually, is she on Facebook or YouTube?
Facebook.
Are you on Facebook on your, who was it that said that, babe?
Wendy Reese Purdy.
Wendy, if you're on Facebook, are you on Facebook on your phone or your tablet? Because I can put the membership back up. If you want, you can just use the camera app on your phone And when you look at this QR code, a little yellow bar will show up, and just touch that and it'll take you to the landing page. You're not like making a commitment to join. It's just going to take you to a page where there's more information about the membership. And there's also a link for you to join the membership if you're still interested.
There you go. All right.
Okay. Whoops. Okay. So this is one of my favorite papers, even though I haven't used it in the I'm making so much pretty stuff. I'm making pretty stuff for y'all.
Oh, did we talk about the retired designs?
We did not yet. Let me start this project, and then we're gonna then we'll.
Only because some people have been asking about that.
Yeah, Dorothy asked last week, so I brought the list.
But there was somebody else that was asking. I saw they posted they made a post asking about certain designs, and I saw
that was inside the retailers group.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that was a new retailer, and she was looking at all the labels, and she saw labels for designs that weren't currently listed for sale. So she was asking about them. In order for me to come out with new designs, we have to retire designs. Otherwise, we'd have like thousands of choices, which my retailers would literally hunt me down and get me if I did that. So we don't want that to happen.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. I think Amazon has changed us all because we assume we can get anything right now.
Yeah.
Which we kind of can. Well, Amazon is unique in the business world by doing that because the reality is most retail operations can't handle that. It's called an SKU. Or
that many SKUs. Yeah.
Most can't handle that many SKUs because there's just no way to track it.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Now should I do them this way, you guys, with the number on the bottom or the number on the top? Maybe I'll do half and half. Because I feel like instinctually I want to put the number on the bottom, but then I guess that'll work better.
Wendy's good now.
Because I'll be like this. So if I put the number on the bottom, it'll be upside down. So I almost have to put it like this. Okay. Wendy, you're good?
Yeah, she says she's locked in now.
Thank you, Wendy.
But yeah, it's a weird thing having to retire them. I guess that theoretically they could come back.
They could. I have one specific designs that my retailers are like they're ganging up on me, baby.
They want one to come back?
Yes.
All right. If they've got demand, I can understand that.
It's just that if I take one off, it's just because it's not selling well. So it may have been, it wasn't timing.
Maybe it
the
wasn't
timing.
the right time.
Yeah. And so one of the ones that the young lady asked about was the one, and they're like, Royce, can you bring this one back? So we may, because they want it back.
Think about it. You talked earlier about you make a lot of content. And
yes.
There's a lot of old content out there.
Yes.
Somebody who stumbles on this live.
Yeah.
And stumble. Heck, that's how you find most things on YouTube.
I know you go down the rabbit hole.
Then you go down the rabbit hole and it's like, well, what else is out there? And you see something from 2, 3, 4 years ago, and you're like, oh, I like that design. Well, that design may have ran its course.
But some retailers may have it, though. A lot of retailers still have the older designs.
So I get it. I understand that.
Yeah. Ooh, look at the dollar sign. I'm way too excited about this project. I'm like, I cannot wait to integrate this some kind of way into my...
all the coffee. You're gooped up on gob.
I am. I'm drinking coffee, so I'm going to be a little... Oh, and I have to say, hi, Ariana. How are you? Because she's watching. Dom said I was boring, but she said she's going to watch tonight.
Well, she said she's going to. I haven't seen anything yet.
I
Where's
know.
she watching?
I don't know.
All right.
So you guys see my little cups? I just love these. And they are in my Amazon shop if you guys are interested in them. And they're just little, oh Lord, what is this material again, babe?
I don't have my glasses.
The rubber stuff. You know.
Oh, silicone.
Silicone. They're silicone, so nothing sticks to them. They're awesome. And the lid is pretty airtight because I've been working from week to week and I haven't had to throw away any product. So I really like these. If anybody's interested in the Amazon link, let me know. And I can put the QR code up for that too.
Patty Hogan says, how do you decide what papers to retire? That's pretty easy. You actually decide.
Yeah, customers decide. Like I shouldn't say that.
Well, it's the truth. If they're not asking the retailers for it, the retailers aren't contacting you for it. So that means, okay, these aren't popular with customers at the moment. Okay,
Yes.
we'll just retire these.
So sometimes, because if I went purely just off of sales, then we wouldn't have the variety that we have. So I'm intentional about serving my customers who like industrial. You know what I'm saying? So it may not sell as much, but I know that we have a customer base who uses it. And so I have some pretty niche things. Like I have cowboy and cowgirl designs. I have some industrial designs. I have some designs that have representation, people of color. So those designs are not purely based off of sales.
Well, they are within that
particular niche, yes. If I have an industrial design that no one is buying, then I'm not going to keep it.
Because you have other industrial papers.
Yes.
So it's based on that.
It is. It's based on sales. Yes, you make a good point.
So, but it really is the customers. Yeah.
So you guys decide.
Link to sign up for the wait list on... this is for YouTube.
Oh, for the membership, the wait list is over because we're actively signing up people. So this is the QR code. So if you look on this with your phone, it'll take you to the landing page for the membership.
Paige says she doesn't know how to use a QR code. So, two things. If you have an Apple phone.
Oh, is it different?
Well, yeah, because I tried using the camera for the QR code with mine, and I've got an Android. I've got an older Android, too. And it doesn't really work.
Oh.
So I use a QR app.
Really?
And that works fine.
Okay.
I've seen you just use the camera function.
Yeah, I just use my camera.
Because you've got an Apple.
I do.
It really is very simple. Paige, use your phone or your tablet, and you should be able to get it.
And Paige, you're an insider too. So look at your email. You should have received several emails at this point with invitation to join.
Best thing for insiders, though, make sure that your email is in your contact list.
Yes, Royce at Roycycled.
Because if it isn't, it may go to spam.
Yes.
But if it's in your contact list, then it shouldn't go to spam.
Yes. I want to point out something really quickly. I am way too excited about this project. I'm misting my paper so that I don't get wrinkles, but it's also making the paper a lot more malleable. So you guys see that there's like a ton of texture, right? I'm sorry. There's a ton of texture on this board. And so the texture is actually coming through the paper because I'm misting it. And this is why I love the fact that our decoupage paper is tissue paper, because I feel like you have options. If you want your paper to be transparent, you leave it transparent. If you want it to be opaque, you can paint the back to make it opaque. If you want it to be malleable enough to go around or to like go into texture, you have the option of doing that. And so I'm really using my brush to really push the paper into that texture so that I get to keep that even after I've decoupaged these pieces.
Oh, Paige was talking about the cups. Oh, okay. That's for the Amazon.
Oh,
okay.
For the Amazon.
She joined for the insider, so. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, I should have made that QR code bigger. This is the QR code for my Amazon shop if you guys are interested. And I did the QR codes because I'm not able to put links on while I'm live. And then I know my folks on YouTube are probably irritated because they don't have like the function. Like I believe if you're on Facebook, you can put #Amazon and you'll get a link. But if you're on YouTube, you don't have that option. So that's the QR code for my Amazon shop.
And I believe the link is amazon.com/shop/Roycycled.
Oh, look at you.
I believe.
I believe I could fly.
For all I know, I'm sending them to, new tires.
They don't want new tires. But,
yeah.
Well, maybe. It's a lot of snow. New tires probably come in handy right about now.
Snow tires.
I know. It's like snowing in places where people are not used to snow. I saw a TikTok. I was laughing so hard. The guy was like, you Northerners need to come here and get y'all weather because it's down here in Texas acting out.
Hey, Hey, Texas has gotten hammered with weird weather like 3-4 years in a row.
I know, for the last few years.
I hate to say it, but I'm not sure it's weird anymore.
I know.
That might just be weather now, guys. Sorry.
It snowed here. Of course, it's been warm. Well, the weekend's been warm. I mean, it's raining today,
The
but
last few days it got warm. It's supposed to rain for the next couple of days, then cool down.
yeah.
So.
I cannot wait to show you guys. I'm going to show you guys something really quickly. This is why I love the transparency of this paper. You guys know how I did like a really rough, like I painted it, but I didn't paint it solid because I wanted to have that texture. So you can see, let me see, right here especially, or even through here, that texture is still coming through the paper. And I'm super excited about that because it just makes it look more rustic.
All right, we have 2 questions.
Yes.
Connie Diebler says, what kind of brushes do you use for decoupage?
It depends on my project. These are blah, blah, blah. These are my classroom brushes. So I buy these in bulk, but you can get them on Amazon. I believe they're in my Amazon store. They're really inexpensive. I love these because they're really soft and they're really durable and they do not shed. Like, I really do love this one for smaller projects.
They come in like packages of 8 or something like that?
I want to say like packages of 10,
Maybe,
I believe,
yeah.
or something like that. This brush is the same brush, but it's bigger, right? It's a little bit bigger. So if I'm working on a larger project, I'll use that brush. My favorite, like this one, is an angle brush from Roycycled that I love. And when I'm working on larger pieces like furniture, I love my Klingon brushes. These are specialty brushes. They're like super dense. You see how the edges are white? It's because they're feathered. And so if I'm doing a blending or something, these brushes are my best friend and they hold a ton of paint, which it doesn't seem like it's a big deal, but when you're painting, every like little bit of time and effort you can save, really impacts, the likelihood of your like being successful or finishing a project, right? Because it's less arduous. But it's why I also don't use these for small projects because they hold a ton of paint. So I really save my larger Klingon brushes from when I'm painting larger projects.
Second question. 63 Marketplace said she just logged in. Where did you get those tags and what size are they?
These tags we made. These are literally, so all my projects that we're doing tonight are from my scrap wood pile. We do a lot of upcycling around here. My friends, we come home often to furniture in my front yard. Some of it is salvageable, some of it isn't. When it's not salvageable, we just like break it down and we save all the bits for different projects. And so a lot of times when you guys see me making things, like, I don't know if you guys remember these candlesticks that I made. These were all from like spindle bits that we had in our stash. And so these tags are actually the tops of fence posts. Some fence posts that we had in our stash were actually from our fence. We replaced the panel in the back.
Oh, yeah.
And so we just literally cut the tops. We didn't cut this. This part was already cut. So this is literally the top of a fence. You know what I'm saying? How you have like a panel of fencing. We just cut it off. And so it's going to be a tag now. And we'll use the other part for something else.
The top of a picket fence.
Yes.
Yeah. Karen, a lot of people are saying the texture looks really cool.
Right?
Because, Karen Moyer says because the light is hitting it just right.
So you can see it?
You can see the texture coming through, especially in the top one to your right.
This one? Oh, probably that one. Yeah. And that one is drier too, so the light is probably bouncing off a little less than it is on the other ones. I didn't trim this like I was supposed to. I should have used this part because it has like more like...
Dreaming Cat Studio. I'm finally got smart. I'm cleaning my studio while I listen.
Just make sure you remember where you put everything. That's my problem. This project is taking a little bit longer than I thought it would.
Sue Bastion, I'm on my phone. How can I capture the QR code? Which QR code are you looking for?
Well, she's on her phone, so she can't.
No, I know, but which one? Because if it's for the Amazon shop, scroll up a little bit. I put the link.
Is she on Facebook or YouTube?
YouTube, and I put it on both.
Oh, okay. Good job.
So,
because if you're on Facebook, you can put hashtag Amazon.
And she's on YouTube.
Okay.
So if you're looking for the Amazon, if you're looking for the membership,
oh, I should have given you that link. I'll post the link. In
the description.
Why didn't I make a QR code for insiders? That was dumb. Yeah, I'll put it in the description when we go in the house because I have to go and,
So just check back and you'll see it in the description.
I know. I hate to have them check back because if they're like me, they might not remember. So there's so much yumminess on this paper. And if you're like me and you love industrial and you love grunge, this register paper is super fun because it has so many different components. I think the reason why I kind of want to use this on the hand is because it has these springs and I'm kind of dry fitted it. And I know that at least three of the springs on here will line up with the fingers, but I don't know. I'll do that one last because I know you guys are helping me decide what I'm going to do.
And you are at 6:52.
What?
Yeah.
How does that happen?
I don't know.
Should we go over here, I'm going to give you that list because you can do that while I work. Right. Those are the designs that are being retired. So maybe go through like 5 and then we can take some comments and have discussions. Oh, if you are a Roycycled retailer and you are on tonight, please, please, please put the link to your website to buy paper. I know that we had a lot of new people come into like the Roycycled ecosystem this week, so we might have new people on tonight. I've been fielding a lot of questions this week on where to find paper, specifically the corrugated metal paper. So if you're a Roycycled retailer, please put your link in the comments. If you are new, yes, I absolutely encourage and allow you guys to put your links in the comments when I'm live on Sunday night.
Yeah.
Because I want to support my retailers. I do not sell directly. I get some customers who get a little frustrated, but I partner with a lot of small businesses in the US, the UK, Canada, Australia, Germany. I don't think we have anybody in the UK right now, but anyways, from all over. And like 99.95% of them are small women-owned businesses. And so I do not feel good about competing with the small business who are partnered to carry my product. So I do not sell the decoupage paper or the stencils directly, but you can buy from other small businesses that you can help to support and other, business owners that you can support. So that's why I don't sell directly. If you don't have anyone near you, there's 2 choices. You can either reach out to your nearest retailers because 99% of the retailers will ship for you. Or if you have a shop near you that carries like paint and transfers and does creative stuff, go talk to them, harass them. Maybe they like to carry Roycycled.
Yeah,
just
if anybody's interested, what do they do?
If you're interested in becoming a retailer, on the bottom of our homepage at roycycled.com, which I don't have a link for that, but it's literally, I guess I have this. It's roycycled.com. On the bottom, there's a simple form. It's like your name. I don't know. It's like 4 things. It's super simple. You fill out that form and you'll receive an email just with information on how our program works because we do offer territory protection. We have minimums for the year, and the reason why we do that is because your territory is being protected, which means in order for you to be able to serve the customers in your territory, you have to have new designs, right? So that's kind of the exchange is I'll protect your territory so that nobody can come and like set up shop right next to you and sell Roycycled. But at the same time, you're making a commitment to me to carry a decent amount of inventory so that you can serve customers.
And it's not a crazy number.
It's not a crazy number, but that you can serve customers in your area. And somebody asked on YouTube
or via online.
Yeah, we have online only shops too.
Yeah, you're not limited to selling in your region.
No, you can sell online. You can you can
sell wherever you want, but your shop, that's your region.
Yes.
Whether it's an online shop or a brick and mortar.
Or a booth.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes what happens with some products is you're in like an antique mall,
right,
and there might be 32 creative businesses there, and like the worst thing you want to happen is that a booth 2 booths down from you picks up the exact same product.
Right.
And so that's why we did that. But there was a question on YouTube about whether or not the membership was discounted for retailers. I did not discount the membership for retailers. We offer minimally one free class for retailers every year. Although last year you guys had two classes because there was the stencil lab in January, and then we did the decoupage masterclass, which both were free to retailers. And if you're coming on like now as a retailer and maybe you missed out on those opportunities, those courses are available to retailers on your retailer dashboard, so you can go and watch them. And they're cut into little bite-sized pieces, so you don't have to sit through like an hour and a half. I mean, they're cut into like 15 or 20-minute chunks. Because I know you guys are busy running businesses, but I did want to have the resource there for you. So you can feel confident using the product and having workshops in your shop, or doing lives on your page.
So these are retired or going to be retired?
Those are retired, and I probably should have made the announcement earlier, but I'm sorry. Those are already retired, but there are a lot of retailers who do have those in stock.
All right, so if you want buffalo check, chippy wood.
Oh man, why did I paint that?
Fairies, fairy gate, or jellies, check with your retailer. They might still have some in stock.
Yes.
But retailers, you can't order those anymore.
The retailers cannot order anymore. So if like that's your favorite, you might want to hit up your retailer and buy their stock. You can just buy them out. That way you'll make sure you have your stash.
You want me to keep going?
You can, because I'm trying to, I was talking and I put product down, so now I can't sit this down to line it up. So I'm trying to do it over here. I'm causing problems. So I'm going to use this bottom portion for my box, you guys. And so I'm just lining it up because I have this whole portion that's left. And so I want to keep it intact for future projects.
All right, also retired is Leaves, Misty Mountains, Red T-O-I-L-E.
Twal.
Okay. Renaissance Blueprint, Ebony and Ivory. Oh,
I know, we kept some of the designs, and again, it was based on the ones that sold the most. That one didn't sell as much.
it's Stevie Wonder.
It's not Stevie Wonder.
Oh, okay. Then that's fine then. Etched Countryside, Sachiko.
Yeah,
Sachiko?
Sashiko.
Okay.
That was the navy blue stitch. It's a Japanese fiber art.
Ah, there you go.
I don't know if it's Japanese or Chinese. I probably shouldn't have said that. I believe it's Japanese. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Carmen knows if she's here because she actually does it for real.
Spring Floral, Textures, Spring, Technologist, The Station, German Flour Sack. That sounds fairly dirty. And
Why?
I don't know.
That's your mind, baby. That's all you.
I'm just saying. Yo, you know what we did last night? We did the German Flour Sack. Oh, snap. Unique Floral. Those are the retired. Then you have
The holiday. Yeah, the limited, of course, are, some retailers may have some of the limited designs, but they were holiday designs, so they're just not available.
And those folks, no, they don't overload their inventory with those.
Yeah.
Because they tend to have very specific shelf lives.
Yes, the holiday designs.
Right.
So
Fall Farm, Fall Tartan, Halloween Masterboard, Heirloom Pumpkin, Stacked Heirloom Pumpkin, Neutral Christmas Masterboard, Neutral Christmas Project Blocks, Christmas Masterboard, Retro Halloween, Winter Project Blocks, and Winter Stag. Those are all retired.
So if those are your favorites, get with your retailer and get your stash because they cannot order anymore.
Now, on the other hand, like we said, enough retailers come in and say, need that. Come on now.
It's happened before.
Yeah, it can come back. So
you guys, I want to talk about this specific project because I know a lot of you do smaller crafts and you may look at a larger design like this one and think that you wouldn't have need for it, but you can cut these designs up and use them in pieces. You don't have to use the whole design if you're not like a furniture artist.
Paige Nicole Komar says, if I start a website, would you be willing to be my first product to start selling in addition to my upcycles? It really depends on the region.
Yeah, it depends on the region. And I'll be honest with you guys, I have divested myself from the decision making. I have an assistant, and she looks for certain things. We want to make sure that you're going to be sustainable. Like, I don't want to take advantage of someone who's super excited and they really don't have like the resources available to be successful with selling. And so there's certain things that you have to have. But if you're interested, just fill out that form and Stephanie will reach out to you, and you can start that process. And if you're online only, babe, there's no region. But if you're online only, the thing is, and I know people get upset about this, but if you're online only, that means that you can't hold courses, right? Because if there's a physical shop that's been approved where you are, then you would be infringing upon you could potentially be infringing upon their territory. So if you're online only, there are some restrictions. But all that stuff is laid out though when you submit your request. Isn't that gonna be so cute?
Jim McCrary says, ask someone to please sell near Detroit.
You guys know what?
Sherry Benhart came right behind and went, I ship.
Right? So the hard part is that I try to get people to sign up, but if you're a creative and you're buying from a local shop, you're gonna have more what's the word I'm looking for?
Access?
No. Like, there's more opportunity for you to convince that person to pick up than me.
Oh, influence.
Influence, thank you. You're going to have more influence than I am. I think I got to do this side, you guys. I don't think I can just do one side. What do you guys think? That's going to look weird, even though I hate to cover up this nice wood. The inside, though, I'm not going to paint. I might put some dark wax in there and salve it. So maybe that will be the celebration of this piece.
Bella Rowe, do you need a brick and mortar store to retail? No, you do not.
Nope. You can do online only. You do not have to have a brick and mortar. Because I understand, and I think more and more shops are going to online only because it's just easier to be sustainable without like a continual overhead of a shop.
Colleen Renee Reinhardt says, are the lists posted somewhere they can review, the list of retirements?
I'm going to post them. I'm gonna get it posted this week, you guys.
Did you send out an email to retailers?
To retailers, yes.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't an email. It's in my list. Nobody reads their emails, so I stopped sending them.
I read mine at work.
I know. I send emails and nobody reads them. So I have it. There's a list in the group. So if you're a retailer, there is a list in the group of all the designs that have been retired. It was posted like in November, I believe. Because I posted it before they actually retired, just in case somebody wanted to buy some more. Because like I have Kathy Cook, and she loved the flamingos. She was so sad when they retired. So she bought like quite a few of them before I pulled them.
Peggy Terrell says workshops really make the difference in retail sales. Yeah.
Yes, they do. They do. And I understand, Peggy, but could you imagine if you had somebody in your area who applied as an online only stockist, and then they were allowed to do workshops? Like they would basically be operating in your territory, even though they're online only. So that's why we have that rule in place. It's not just to be mean. I'm just trying to make sure and honor everybody. Because Peggy does, I don't know. Peggy, you have to hold a record. I'm curious, Peggy, how many workshops did you hold in 2023? I'm just curious. I bet it was like 80. I'm going to guess before she puts it. 84. I'm guessing 84. It's probably more than that.
But yeah, I mean, workshops are great because A, you're making face-to-face contact.
Yes.
Even if it's online, you're still making face-to-face contact.
Yes.
And B, it gives customers, that whole phrase, the customer's always right. Mm-hmm. First of all, no. Anybody that's ever worked in a restaurant.
I was going to say, I worked at McDonald's for a long time. The customer was not always right.
Not always right.
Yes.
But the customer really does dictate the business.
Yes. To our point before about what designs get retired, right?
You know, if they're buying, that's what the retailer's going to stock. And that's just the truth. If
that's the truth.
If I'm selling Roycycled papers but all my customers come in and ask for yarn.
Yeah.
I'm going to become a yarn store. We have friends that
Yep.
have changed their store, 4 times?
I was just thinking about Jenny, you know.
Jenny,
Yeah.
which the retailers who were here for the retreat last year?
Yes, it's where we had the meet and greet.
Yeah.
It was a year ago, August.
Yeah. They got to see that shop. Well, that shop changed.
It's a restaurant now, full on.
Yeah, restaurant with a liquor license.
Yes.
And when it started, it was
Like a gift shop.
a gift shop, yeah.
Yeah.
And she slowly morphed, and she was a salad bar for lunches.
Oh, the
only for a little
sandwiches,
while.
those were good.
Yeah, and then it was a gelato.
Well, those were all additions, right?
Right, their first big thing was olive oils.
Yes.
Oils and
which are still
balsamics.
there.
But yeah, now she's a restaurant with a liquor license.
Because I believe Lexi still orders the
oils.
The olive oils, and she found a mustard there that she loves.
So, yeah, I mean, the business is going to become what the customers want.
Depending on the entrepreneur, but yes.
For the most part, I would say your business is changing slightly. Think about when you started.
I was geared a lot more towards furniture and furniture painting when I started.
I still think we got to go back to that.
I mean, I do.
You know my thoughts.
I know, baby. It's just, it takes a lot more.
No, what I meant was you would go live to show what you're doing, not necessarily to teach what you were doing. And then you've morphed into more of an instructor.
Yes.
You're still designing paper, still designing stencils.
Oh, yeah, but now I'm doing courses as well.
Correct.
Because I discovered that teaching was my superpower, Daddy.
Right. But it's because of the customers.
Yes.
And that's great. So, yes, you have influence. If you like your retailer, contact your retailer.
I'm going to set this aside. So I have this side, right? It just says seeds on this side. And so it's going to be a really like industrial looking box. What time is it, babe? I don't even know if I should start that last project.
7:08.
I think I have time.
Peggy Terrell, 84.
I was close, Peggy. I said, what did I say, 85?
Yeah.
Ha, 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 ha. I was close. But yes, Peggy is a machine. She does so many classes.
Teresa Vitrino asked, could you have used the paint as a stain on the wood?
Absolutely. I could have watered down my paint and used it like a stain to stain the wood. This design is pretty dark, so the part that the white is helping out are the light parts, right? But if I would have done dark, you would still have been able to see it. It just wouldn't be as bright. So I'm just painting white underneath so that my letters can really pop against that dark background. And I'm going to do the ends. I figured I'm going to do the ends with these white bricks right here. And then I may I'm thinking of a transfer or something that I can put in the middle of these.
Somebody on YouTube, to be an insider, they should send an email to...
On YouTube, I'll put a link up.
I know, Sue's asking. That's what she was looking for.
Yeah. I think Sue's is already an insider, I believe.
Because she's asking about the membership.
Suze, aren't you a member already? Message me, Suze. Because I want to say that you're already in there. So you guys are wanting me to use the blue on the hand? Is that what we're saying? That wasn't quite my vision.
Yeah, they like the blue.
So I'm going to give you guys the rest of my vision so you guys can, and then we'll revisit, okay? So on my...
Well, they like the blue and the gears, so I don't know how you could do both.
I can do both. I can get them both on there a little bit. So on there, you guys know how, I wish I would have put a picture up on my thing, but I didn't. They would have the old signs. So what I want to do on my apothecary stencil, I have these stencils on the palm. It says elixirs, tonics, balms, and potions. So I want to stencil over the top of my paper with these names down each of the fingers like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you would have seen a long time ago. And then I was thinking about putting this here in the middle. What do they call this?
What, the hand?
No, the mortar and pestle. Is that what it is?
Yes.
I was going to put that in the middle. And even this shop can kind of go on there at the bottom. I can't put apothecary. It won't fit, but I can fit shop. So I want to make it a sign. And so the reason why I was thinking this one is because it's not as busy. And if I use this one, it might, our signage might get lost in there, I'm thinking. So, I don't know. I know I asked you guys your opinion, but I think I might have to go with this one. Because I think if I go with that one, it's just going to be too much. And I'm not going to be able to see the rest of my signage. Honestly, I
think the gears would be too busy with what you want to do with the stencil.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But the blue might work.
I wish there was more brick, because this would be perfect, right? But there's the letters are there. If there was just like plain brick enough on here for me to cover the hand, that would have been awesome. But there's not. I do have a white brick, but I don't think that will work. Oh, wait. Would that work? I didn't bring that one out.
The one that's, I'm way back.
Yes.
Because I'm looking online.
Yeah.
So I'm in delay. What's the thing with the black and the gray?
That's from the register.
Yeah, I don't like it.
You don't like it?
No, I think the letters are going to disappear into it.
Well, I'm going to do the letters white.
I know, I still think.
I mean, do you think the letters will not disappear into the...
I don't, look, I'm no artist. I just know what I like.
You know, it's funny that you said that. You guys, I've been having a discussion with myself. Oh, what if we use the corrugated metal? I don't think that sign would have been made out of corrugated metal, but like, we're making our own rules. We don't have to. Y'all, if I fall out this chair and my husband starts laughing, I want y'all to get him. Because the last time I fell off the chair, he laughed at me. Those of you who, what was that, the leather look class, I think, when I fell out of my chair? What if we do the textures? What if I use one of the textures? That might be kind of cool. Good night. I'm just making things more complicated every time I pull out a new choice, aren't I?
Kathy LePage says, do you have a production line going?
A production line for, I know I do, right? Because I have these, they're there, they're drying. This is why I end up with so many projects going at one time, because while these are drying, I got to do something, right? This is the madness that happens when I'm working. What about the rusty? We can do a dark, I think this would be cool. The rusty, and then we can do like a dark wax over everything after we're done.
Jay Hicks suggests the burlap paper.
Ooh, that would be interesting.
Sherry Benhart suggests smeared brick.
I know, Sherry, I was looking for some brick right now, but I'm not finding it. Because I was thinking...
says a brick stencil? I don't think so.
Well, a brick stencil would be nice. I just don't want to have one scaled small enough for that hand. And I don't know why I don't have any smeared brick in here, because that's what I was looking for when I found the other ones. Why don't we table this one till next week?
Everybody's saying, well, not everybody, but Pamela Culpadaire, Celestine Todd, say, go with your original plan, follow your instincts.
And you know what? We have two sides. We can do both. That's what we'll do. We'll do both, y'all, and then we'll see what happens. Because there's two sides to it. So let's go with the gears on one side, and we'll do the, this would be kind of cool, though. That corrugated metal, although I don't have enough in here. And everybody wants that corrugated metal right now. So let's go with this one right now and the stencil. And then maybe next week we'll do the other half with the other one. Because this is going to be two-sided, right? It's going to be able to be seen from both sides.
Chris Schmidt says, go with the orange. Makes a really grungy old sign.
I know. There's only 2 springs on that one. This one has 3 springs that line up with the fingers. That's what I thought was kind of cool too. So I'll do this one, and then we'll do the gears on the other side.
Whose album was that? Disraeli Gears.
Yo no sé.
I forget who. Said there was a metal band, wasn't it? Judas Priest, Disraeli Gears.
I know we've had this discussion before, but I think the way that David and I function is hilarious.
Cream.
And I'm sure, okay, that it's the same for a lot of couples. Like, we think out loud, so we verbalize our thoughts in the house. And it's like, if I'm thinking about something, I might be asking a question. Like, David is welcome to jump in if he wants, but he's not obligated because I'm having the conversation. Look, I'm having a staff meeting with all the versions of Royce. There's a lot in here, just so we're clear.
Vicky Moore says one of the papers with the Leonardo da Vinci type drawings. That might be
Ooh,
cool.
that would be cool too.
Paige Komar says, is the rusted corrugated metal retired?
No. If I retired that one, I think people would come to Safford and come get me.
And Peggy Terrell, boy, that corrugated metal is in hot demand this week.
It is. And I meant to put, I meant to go back and look. Does anybody remember who did the dresser? And I'm sorry, I just don't remember the artist who made the dresser. There were actually 2 pieces. So I'm going to start from the beginning. Aside from Roycycled Treasures, the page, you guys, we have a group, Roycycled Upcycling with Decoupage. Inside of the group is nice because I feel like on the page, it's like a one-way discussion, meaning I have to initiate a post in order for you guys to engage. But in the group, you guys can post. So you can post projects, you can post questions. If you're looking for a specific paper design and you can't find it, you can post it in the group, and there are retailers in the group. So it's a nice place. It's a community, right, where we can all share our decoupage journey. So there were 2 pieces that were posted, and it was so funny. Both were made with the corrugated metal. One was like really clean. It was blue with the corrugated metal, super pretty. The other one was with the corrugated metal, but it was grungy with rust. And it was a coffee bar. Both of them absolutely gorgeous pieces. And it's just funny to me because they've generated so much buzz around the corrugated decoupage paper. So if you're looking for that paper, please put it in the comments because there may be a retailer here who may have it in stock and can get it to you. And I believe it was Gwen from Mississippi was saying that she didn't have anybody close to her. But Gwen, I'm sure that another retailer will be willing to take care of you even if they don't live near you.
So somebody said, there we go, Dreaming Cat Studio, I remember Disraeli Gears. Disraeli Gears is one of those weird things where I came to it, I didn't come to it that late, because I remember when the songs came out, I was young, and I remember them. So Cream, it was Cream's album, I couldn't remember who did it. But Sunshine of Your Love, and what else is on that album? Strange Brews on that album. I had no idea what a Disraeli was.
We're gonna set that aside and let it dry, okay?
Turned out it was
a Disraeli.
Yeah, years later I found out that Disraeli was a British prime minister.
Oh.
Why they called it Disraeli Gears, I have no idea. But
maybe a cog in the machine, kind of.
Maybe it was the '60s.
So that's why I said that.
It could be anything. Although Disraeli was late 1800s. Was the prime minister. I think he was late 1800s. So when Disraeli Gears was released, I think it was Edward Heath, I believe, was the prime minister at that point for the UK. I think it was Heath. But anyway,
don't start me to line because you know I don't know.
But I had no idea what a Disraeli was. I knew what an Israeli was. I didn't know what a Disraeli was. And then years later, I was like, oh, British Prime Minister. Okay, cool.
I'm going to dry this a little bit more before I try to trim it. What time is it, babe? Oh, my goodness, it's 7:20. Okay, you guys, I got to finish at least one project tonight.
Paige Komar, it is not the same as the decoupage class group.
No, I know, I have so many groups. So the decoupage class group is actually, if it hasn't been closed yet, it will be closed soon. So if you're in that group, you should have gotten an invitation to join the besties group. In the past, whenever we close a group after a course, I always felt weird because it's just like we hang out for like 2 months and then it's like, peace out, see ya. And I just don't, I lose track of people. So we have the Roycycled Besties is a group for anybody who's taken a course so that we can stay connected. And I know some people don't look at their curriculum until later. And so if you're in the Besties group, you can still kind of ask questions about the curriculum. It's a way for us to stay connected.
Let's see. Kathleen Hoovis, are you going to be able to keep the finger detail after the decoupage?
Girl, that's the part I'm thinking. I might have to do that whole fire business. I don't know, y'all. Because I was thinking I could use an X-Acto knife to cut through the fingers and maybe use a piece of sandpaper to sand in between the fingers because I don't have a ton of room in there. But I'll have to work it out. I feel like 90% of what we do is problem solving, right? We got to figure out how to make it work. And you guys see how I've sanded this dark paper, and on some of my edges, the paper looks light. I like to either go over that, seal it really well first, and either go over it with a glaze or even a dark wax can help that. Because essentially I've sanded off the ink from the paper is what's happened. This is going to be a really cool piece. This one is. I think I'm really digging this. Isn't that cool? Like I like when I make something that looks like it's something I found, in an old warehouse from ages gone by.
Lori Slate suggests an emery board for between the fingers.
They're super tight because I was looking at them earlier tonight. I don't even think an emery board would fit between there. It's really, really tight. I think I'm going to have to cut it. And I may have to try that whole fire bit. You guys know I'm scared to do that. I'll do it outside though. And the reason why I'm afraid to try it is because I think about all the things that I have here in my workshop. I have cans with compressed, product in them, and I have resins, and I have stuff, combustible stuff. So the idea of having an open flame in my shop just kind of freaks me out a little bit. Should I try to circle that, or should I I'm thinking offside looks more interesting, doesn't it? Yes, it does.
Rita Garber Grain says a razor.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, a sharp blade or like my X-Acto knife to get through there to cut it. But I don't know what the edges are going to look like after that.
Chris Schmidt, here you go. After the paper dries, dental floss.
Really? All right, Chris, I'm going to try it. You think a dental floss will cut it though?
I think the paper, yeah.
I'm going to try that, Chris.
What is, Kathleen Hoover says, what's the fire thing?
There are people, Kathleen, who when they have like a lot of details after something they've decoupaged, I believe Sherry Bernhardt's done it. You can light the paper on fire and all the parts that are loose will burn and it trims it perfectly. I have seen it done, but I have not done it yet because I'm a scaredy cat and I just haven't done it yet.
Pamela Culpadare has, but said, I only do it outside.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Pam. I'll try it outside because I'm thinking that's a product. But then those fingers are so close together. I don't know. I like the floss idea. I might try that. I want to get these on really quickly. Oh, man. Oh, no, I didn't trim it too hard or trim it too low. I don't know why I like that off center more than like perfectly centered because I could have put it perfectly centered, but I like it kind of whopper jawed a little bit.
Lauren Martone, I ordered the rusted corrugated metal recently. Haven't received it yet. Can't hardly wait to get it. Saw those 2 pieces of furniture.
Oh, see? Weren't they fabulous? I love it. You guys, so when I create the designs, right, I have an idea of how you guys are going to use them. But always, 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 you guys outdo what I ever could have imagined. And so I'm always super excited when I'm inspired by what you guys create, like legitimately.
Let's see. Sherry Benhart says she has done it, the fire thing.
I saw you, Sherry.
It worked wonderfully. Peggy Terrell says, too risky for me. Pamela Adair says, I love to do it with metal as well. Rita Burnett Law says it works better with napkins than paper.
Oh, because the napkins are thinner.
Karen Moyer said, I did the fire thing. Is that the official name for this technique?
That's
now?
what it's called.
The fire thing.
We'll call it the fire technique. That's what we'll call it. But
I like the fire thing.
okay, the fire thing.
She did it on a butterfly with inside cuts.
See, it's the inside cuts that get you.
Took so long for those parts to burn, it scorched the butterfly and paper. Linda Baker says she's done it outside. Those fingers may be too close for even that. She says dental floss or a piece of string may be the best bet.
I'm going to try it.
Didn't somebody saw through like a prison bar with dental floss?
I don't know.
Can work. I mean, you got to be patient. It takes a long time.
Well, obviously to get through a prison bar, baby.
Yeah.
They only had 1 year left on their sentence.
I think they were just testing if you could do it. It wasn't like a breakout.
Oh, I was going to say, you got 1 year left on your sentence by the time you get through the bar.
Yeah. Teresa Vitrino, I do the burn on wood cutout words that have small spaces. The flame does not get huge. Trim as much paper first. You'll love how quick, easy, and great the result.
Oh.
But Swanky Vintage with Carol says thicker paper doesn't work very well.
Okay.
And then Cindy Dobson Lanfer says, it does work well. I burn over my kitchen sink. It's not scary at all.
Oh, that's smart.
I find myself constantly relighting. It helps if you clip the deco paper in tight areas. Oh, did Angie Champagne, was that in Shawshank? Am I confusing reality and a movie?
See? Look at you.
I've never seen Shawshank all the way through.
I think I did, but I don't remember.
I have seen the whole movie, but I've seen it in tiny little chunks. So I've never watched it from beginning to end.
How do you keep track of the story watching it like that?
I just have, you know, it was on TBS more often than I Love Lucy at one point. So you could follow it.
And you guys, when I decoupage, like sometimes my edges, I'm so focused on making sure I have enough of my decoupage medium in the middle so that my edges aren't like really good. So I'll just go around with my brush and just retack them. Like it's not a big deal at all.
Teresa Vitrino says burn from the backside to prevent burn marks.
Oh.
Kathleen O'Brien Hoover says, could you use your new hot foam cutter?
Ooh, that's a good idea because one of them is just like a little, it's about as thin as floss, the metal thing that goes across
filament,
that.
Yeah. Chris Schmidt, I haven't seen any projects using the corrugated metal paper that wasn't awesome.
I really do love that paper.
Celestine Clark, I've done the fire method on a metal butterfly. No problem at all. Robin Ireland, define thicker paper. Let's see, Linda Gardner, I do a lot of burning. If you cut the paper very close, you won't get burn marks.
So
and Angie says she doesn't know if I'm confusing a movie in real life. I just remember somebody using dental floss for a bar.
It does sound like something that would happen in a movie. I'm just saying.
But I thought they were testing it with one of those things. What can you have? What can't you have? In your
and why?
Yeah, but it could have been a movie. Look. I'm old.
That's his story and he's sticking to it.
You're the one who was worried about me breaking a hip the
other
day.
Look, baby, we're just getting older and our quality of life is really nice. I don't want to take any chances. I ran into an old friend at Walmart yesterday and I was asking Scott, I was like, what happened? Like, when did we become the old people? You know what I mean? Like, we have grandkids and we're great. Scott just retired in November. And I says, but secretly, like, I am like living my best life right now.
I made the comment at work, and it threw somebody. I had a couple people. We were in the studio during commercial break, and it was Vance and Christine from the Chamber, and we were talking. And Zaylee Windsor, a young musician here, she's going places. The local newspaper has a magazine now, and she was the cover feature. Mm-hmm. And she was nice enough to autograph some copies for the Chamber. And the Chamber gave me one to put in the studio. Because
Okay.
Zalia's come in and performed music in the studio on my show. And they're like, well, do you want to make it out to Dave? Do you want Zalia to do that? And I said, no. And they said, why not? And I said, because this will stay in the studio. I'm not going to be here forever.
Yeah.
And they just kind of looked at me and went, are you talking about retiring?
Well, not today, but like
not at the moment, but
someday.
I'm not going to be here forever, and I'm way older than all of you. It's semi-adult. I promise it won't be bad.
Oh my!
I promise.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
Our station owner was telling us a story that cannot be repeated here,
Okay.
and we're laughing because it's funny, but it's an adult.
Was it a little
nature.
racy?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is back when he was in a band.
Okay.
So right off the top, it's a mess. So he's telling this story, and we all laugh at the end, and I go, boy, that sounded like a letter to Penthouse. And our chamber director, who's 33, he's the same age as our boys.
Mm-hmm.
What's
that?
He laughed. He went, I don't know what that is. I said, that's why I'm not going to be here forever, Vance.
Oh yeah. And it's so funny because I know time passes, right, with each generation. But I feel like for our generation in particular, technology has gone so fast.
Yes.
Because my boys, the two, well, Dom and Jordan, which are
You said mine.
I'm sorry,
They're
our boys.
ours. We have the oldest, we have the youngest, we have the twins.
The twins, yes. So one of the twins and the youngest are 11 years apart.
Mm-hmm.
So growing up, Dom did not have a cell phone in high school.
Okay.
Because everybody still had landlines back then. There was no reason for him to have a cell phone.
They didn't, but go ahead.
When,
Maybe out here.
When Dom graduated?
Yeah. So here was the deal. So there's 3 years between the oldest and the twins.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, we do not have twins. We just have 2 kids that were born the same year.
Yes.
But we've decided to call them the twins, which I think irritates both of them.
Yeah. We don't care.
I don't care at all. So when the oldest was in his teens, my ex and I made the rule: no cell phone until you drive.
Yeah.
And then once you drive, you have to have a cell phone.
Yes.
So that was 3 years before Dom. And Christopher was under the same rule.
Well, but they had the option of not having a cell phone because there were still pay phones around.
There were some.
Not a ton, but now there's none.
Because, think about it. So David would have been, 16, would have been 2004.
Yeah. People still had landlines in 2004.
Cell phones were still prevalent.
Yeah, they were prevalent, but not for the kids.
Yeah, they were.
Okay, maybe because I lived in the sticks, y'all.
I think that was the difference because honestly, Dave was a little upset because he was the last of his friends to get one.
Oh, Dom was the last of his friends to get one. I didn't care. But
everybody had a cell phone.
I'm just putting some dark wax on this, you guys, so that everything looks like more consistent. But I don't want to do paint because paint is I don't know. The wax has a translucence that I like. So I'm just going to go around.
We call them Irish twins. That's, yes.
Yes.
Somebody on here who said Irish twins, which are parents having 2 kids born in the same year. Ours is a blended family.
Yeah.
And we have 2 that were born in the same year. My youngest, your oldest.
Yes.
So we just have started calling them the twins because it's like, what do you do? We got 4. It's easy when there's 3. There's the oldest, the middle, and the youngest. And when there's 4.
And I say all this to say, darling, here in Safford, a lot of people still had landlines in the early 2000s. And so Dom didn't need to have a phone. He could still call from his friend's house. But when Jordan was in school, nobody had landlines. Very few people had landlines.
Correct.
And so he was always using his friend's cell phones, and it didn't feel right. And so that's why he got one. But I just mean, I don't know. I can remember when I got my first cell phone. I loved my pink Razor. Ooh, I loved my BlackBerry even more.
I got my first. My cousin worked for Motorola. She's now a nurse. but she worked for Motorola, which was headquartered in Chicago. And we were expecting our oldest. And I was like, I don't want my wife to ever be out driving.
Yeah, and not be able
to contact. Now, I understand every other human born in the world.
Hey, we take advantage of the resources that are available.
But that was it. And she got me one for cost, which was still $200, I think. Might have been more.
I would love to pay $200 for a cell phone right now.
But it was a bag phone.
Oh.
And but she carried it with her in the car the whole time. I never wanted her to not be able to contact somebody if anything went wrong.
You went way back with the bag phone.
So
baby.
We bought that before he was born, so we bought that in '87.
The only other people who had bag phones were doctors. You know that, don't you?
Well, didn't they have them wired into their car? Because I looked into that, getting it wired into the car.
Yeah, I'm just messing with you.
She looked at me and went, that's way too expensive.
Yeah.
Just get a bag phone.
I'm just messing with you. But I say all that. I mean, this technology's moved so quickly. So, kids look at a phone that you have to like dial, the rotary dial phone. Like, what the heck is that? It's a phone. It's a phone, not a cell phone. It might have
been more than $200. Well, I got it for cost. So.
And it was back in the day, $200 went a lot further.
Yeah, because I paid $400 for my first VCR. And I got that one on the cheap because it fell off the back of a truck.
I remember when we got our first VCR. Jackie and I were living in Tucson. I was going to we were going to U of A, and we saved up to get a VCR. Oh my gosh, we felt like real adults. We were so excited. You guys, this brush right here, you noticed that it was black when I started. If you're using wax, you do not want to mix up your brushes. Like I would never use my brush that I'm going to use to paint something for wax. Because I just feel like no matter how much you clean it, you are never going to get all that wax out of there. So I have brushes that are set aside just for waxing, and that is what I use it for, either wax and or salve.
You are at 738.
I'm 738. You let me go over with your bag phone story.
Let's see. Elizabeth Strong, when I was a teen, my mother made me carry a quarter if I needed to call on a payphone when I was on a date. When I was a kid, it was a dime.
Oh, you know what we would do? My grandmother was cheap. We would call her. So we would go to the pool, and then when we were ready for my grandma to come pick us up, we would call her collect, and she wouldn't accept the call, but she knew that meant that we needed her to come pick us up.
Dreaming Cat Studio. I still have a landline. It's awesome sound quality, perfect for conference calls. At work.
Yeah, at work.
We use. The internet company also provides phone service.
Yeah, the V.
And I'm telling you, when I record over the phone, it's like they're in the room.
Yeah, it's a VPN, something like that. Kasika's uses the same. We use Value Telecom too.
Amber Demakowitz, I had a bag phone. Wish I still had it. It was legitimately the best cell phone I've ever had. I never lost a signal. And when I was in radio, even until 2005, we were using the bag phones for remote broadcasts.
I wonder,
they were just beasts.
But I wonder why. Like, I want to know how. You know what I'm saying? Like, what made them so good?
Because they invested in them, and now it's the cheapest products they can get. And you have to fit it in something small, and
then they do so much more now.
Yeah.
Like honestly, probably the thing that I use my phone for the least is calling people. I use it for videos, photos, texting, yeah.
Susan Glazer, my first mobile phone was that brick in the early 90s.
Oh my gosh.
That big one that you had to pull the antenna out on.
Yeah, I remember those.
Cost $15 a month and was kept in the car to be used to call AAA or the cops without having to leave the car. Yeah.
I love these, you guys. And when I put I'm going to put some rusty washers over the hole. I'm going to glue those on there. And then I'll pull some twine through the top. And I don't know. I'll find something. I'll probably hang them somewhere in my... I don't know what I'm going to do. But I'll find a cool place to put them. Or maybe they'll end up in a cloche. I don't know.
Yeah, that was the question Amber asked. What are they going to be?
I don't know. I'm gonna use them. I like if I don't know if you guys, I did a short a while ago where I kind of walked you guys around my living room and showed you some of my stuff, like how I use my items, my thrifted items or my upcycles. And I have a lot of just displays. Like I have collections, and if I'm going to collect stuff, I want to have it out where I can enjoy it. And so like I use flower frogs to hold a lot of my ephemera for displays, or I'll have like a cloche and there may be an assemblage of things inside the cloche. So I don't know, but I am like super excited about these.
Robin Ireland, my husband and I have a blended family too. Technically, we have a blended family, but all of our kids are grown.
Yeah.
So it's not like they interact if we make them.
I know.
You know, it's like, hey, we're doing something. Okay. But otherwise, yeah, they don't have to interact. Celestine Todd, is that wax in your Amazon store?
This wax is not. I'm actually using Annie Sloan wax tonight. This is dark. You can use, oh, what's that company? It's that, I can see the can over there. It's white and green. There is a wax that you can use. If you guys, Celestine, you took my, my leather look course, right? Why do I think you took my leather look course? Because we went over the options for waxes on there. Are you going to walk back there, babe? Please be careful.
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't going to drop my microphone.
Okay.
Bry wax.
Yeah, Bry Wax. Yeah, Bry Wax is on Amazon too. Or if you have a retailer, they may have a wax. DIY has a dark wax. This one's a clear one, but Bry Wax has a dark wax. You can get that on Amazon. You can check with your retailer if they carry Annie Sloan. They'll have the dark wax. DIY has a dark wax. I'm trying to think. Dixie Belle has a dark wax. Dixie Belle has one that's a water-based wax, which I think is interesting. So check with your retailer. And that's one of the reasons why I like referring you guys to retailers. You guys see how just going over that edge with the dark wax just kind of tones it down so it's not like a bright white edge. Because your retailers can help you, not just for you to buy stuff from them, but if you're working on a project and you're curious about how to make something work or what's the right product to use or anything like that, they can help you with that. It's like a partnership.
Marlene Mack, my first printer was huge. It was $300, and that was just a desktop. I remember those. Those were big printers.
You remember the dot was a dot matrix? Is that what they're called? Remember you had the papers with the holes on the side? And in high school, we used to print banners to put up in the hallway. We did.
In 2008 or 9, I had to go to a thrift store to get ribbon.
Oh my gosh! For one
my
of those
printer, because they were phasing them out, and the local office supply didn't have them.
No.
So they're like, well, we sold some to a thrift store. Okay, I went there. Swanky Vintage with Carol says, I loved my pink Razor phone. It was indestructible.
Right?
Flea Brown, no giveaway tonight.
No give. And I know, Flea, you won already. I got to get your prize in the mail. I got to get all of them in the mail. But I've had I've had some warehouse orders this week, so I had to prioritize those.
And you filled in the color wax, right? Yes.
Yes, I talked about the color wax. You guys can get, and you guys know you can get wax in like a dark wax. You can get a white wax. You can get a clear wax. Tonight I'm going in with straight wax, but if I wanted to have more control over how dark my pieces are getting, I would go in with a clear wax first and then with the dark wax. But for this project, the grungier the better. So I'm just going straight in.
Which papers did you use tonight?
I used Homer, our hardware, which is the hardware is the brick paper that I used tonight. This one is called Register that I used tonight, and those are the two that I used. I was going to use Industrial Exhibition, but I did not use it. That's the one I ended up not using. I am way too happy with these projects tonight. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. And I know all of you don't love industrial, but like this is my vibe. I love it. And usually I make pretty stuff for you guys, but.
Paige Nicole Komar says chalk teak. Also makes a dark paste wax that's
okay.
creamy and smells good. Smells wonderful, she said.
Yeah, because this one, so the Brie wax and the Annie Sloan wax do have solvents. So, you know, you can smell the solvent. So if you're sensitive to odors, um, just keep that in mind. I want to say if there's a DIY person on, because I don't know if Debbie's wax. I mean, I should know because I've used it. Oh, wait, I have some right here. Let me look. I'm going to open it, you guys, and see if it smells like solvents.
And Paige says, are you willing to sell any clipboards that weren't given away or claimed from the ones that you made? I use Royce's clipboards a lot. I have like 3 in my office.
So the DIY wax doesn't have a smell. So look, I'm all smelling waxes. The things I do for you guys. So yeah, and this is DIY's white wax is my favorite white wax because it's like more opaque and it doesn't have an odor. So if you're like wanting to like make something look like it's pickled, this wax is fabulous. Or if you paint something black and you want to make it look like a chalkboard, you can put the white wax over the top of it. It's a really cool effect. So.
And somebody said they were proud of you. You haven't dipped your paintbrush in your coffee at all.
I know. I cannot say I haven't done it before. One of my retailers, she sells, I don't know if she sold out, she sells out a cup. What does a cup say? It says something to the effect that this is my paint water and not my drinking water or something like that. I ordered it. I thought it was pretty hilarious because I have in the past. And so this is my box. I have the white bricks on the side. I decided to kind of go off edge rather than center it. I think it looks cooler that way. And so once I salve, I don't have my salve here on the table. And salve is I like Wise Owl salve is my personal favorite, and it's made with like essential oils. So it conditions and deodorizes, and it also seals because after a while it'll set and it can seal, but it can revitalize things beautifully. Wood, leather, all kinds of stuff. So I'm gonna salve the inside of this. My favorite fragrance is the tobacco flower. So I'm probably gonna use some tobacco flower inside of this. I'm way too excited to put this in my living room. So
Celestine Todd, now I need to find a neighbor that's getting a new fence.
I thought this was so cool, right? I mean, literally, it's just a picket fence top. We just cut the tops off, and now I have like these fabulous tags. I could put something on the back, but I don't think I'm going to.
Paula Takagi, who's in Sagi, Tucson, says, do you ever use shoe polish?
I have never used shoe polish before.
I have, and I need to.
Well, I mean on shoes, but I mean, I've never used it.
I need to. I get a little scruffy. I got to polish them again.
I'm getting a little choked up over here, probably because we're way past an hour and a half.
We really are. It's at 7:48 right now.
Okay. So I am going to run. I'm just showing this because I'm going to make this a reel. You guys know how I do. And so I want to make sure that I show how these turn out, so that I can include that in my reel when I do it. Let me cut this off because I don't want TikTok to be like, you've been on too long. Okay. And that's it. And so I don't know, the hand, you guys, I think we'll do the hand together next week, maybe.
There you go.
I kind of wanted to do a stencil project next week. I don't know. Did you want to go over the retired designs again, or you think everybody's gone? Probably.
They want the list. They want to see the list.
Okay, I'll post the list of the retired designs, and then when I post the list, retailers, you guys can post if you have the retired designs, so that way the customers can get them. There was a blue buffet that was posted inside the Roycycled, Upcycling, and Decoupage group this week. Absolutely gorgeous, and it was with the winter floral, which was actually retired a while ago. So I feel like people are going to be looking for that design now, and there may be retailers who have it, but they can't order it. So if you find it with the retailer, buy it because it's been retired. So you might not be able to get it if you don't grab it while you have a chance.
And remember, if you're interested in being a retailer, just reach out.
Yeah, if you're interested in being a retailer, there's a simple form on the bottom of our homepage at roycycled.com. You just complete that form and we'll email you the information. My assistant's name is Stephanie DeBoer, and she's the one who's responsible for that. So she'll reach out to you and she'll request documentation. We do ask for like a business license, your TBT license, like your state's basically giving you permission to collect sales tax, things like that. So,
Yeah, because you're selling wholesale,
Wholesale.
which means you're not collecting that tax.
No.
So that's why it's incumbent on the retailer.
Yeah, to do that. But I think that's all we have tonight, unless you can think of anything else.
That's it.
Thank you guys so much for hanging. There was no talk about Green Bay. Nobody had nothing to say.
No. One person said they were glad that Green Bay lost.
Oh, that's why you didn't talk about it.
No, it's okay. They had a great season. I knew they were going to lose. They played closer than they should have.
Yeah.
It was a great game. Kansas City won the
Oh.
last minute. All right, last thing, I promise. Green Bay lost. It's a great loss. Mm-hmm. That sounds weird, but it's a great loss because they shouldn't have been in the playoffs.
They were the 7th seed.
Correct. They shouldn't even have gotten in the playoffs. They won a game. They played the best team or the second best team in the NFL close.
Yes.
You walk away from that going, holy cow.
Yeah.
We're way better than you thought.
Yes.
Buffalo lost to Kansas City. That's a horrible loss.
Is it?
It really is. And I imagine there's going to be some big shakeups in Buffalo.
Now,
because they've been close for a lot of years, and now it's, can you not get over the hump? Is there a problem?
we're going to have to watch my favorite show so we can see what they got to say about it.
Yeah, so it's going to be, I thought
Well,
Dallas.
who lost to Green Bay last time?
Dallas, and I thought
Oh,
they were
yeah,
gonna-
that's right.
They're not firing their coach. I thought they would.
Oh.
So you never know, but you can lose and it can be good, and you can lose and it can be bad. If Green Bay loses next year, it'll be bad. But this year was a good loss.
Yeah. And they have young coaches. I mean,
The coach isn't that young. He's been there for a few years.
I know, but a lot of those coaches.
He's relatively young.
Yeah.
I think he's still in his 40s.
That's what I'm saying.
But the whole team is young. So it was a good loss. Buffalo is going to be a problem. I'm sorry to all the Buffalo folks out there, because I was actually kind of hoping for you guys, because Buffalo, not because I dislike Kansas City, but it would have been nice for their team to have some success, and they get close and they can't close it.
Yeah.
I got a feeling that one could get a little ugly.
That's going to get a little dicey.
Yeah.
I'm going to try, you guys. I'm going to try some, como se dice? Floss.
Dental floss.
Some dental floss.
All right.
Okay, we got to go. You guys have a blessed week. Thank y'all for hanging out with me while I make my grungy stuff. And remember, you guys, there isn't anything that you see me do here tonight that you cannot absolutely do. You guys can do this. You can do it today. We will see you next